So in this video, I was going to show you how to make a small artificial topiary. You can use whatever container that you like to fit your decor, but for this one, I'm just going to use this little metal container. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a block of floral foam and remove the plastic. So this is going to be what holds the topiary in the planter. So as you can see, when I'm putting it into the planter, it doesn't really want to go in because the block is bigger, of course, than the tapering edge of the planter. So what I'm going to do is just shave off a little bit of the corners here until I get it to fit. Okay. So now I have that securely in the container. What I always like to do is use these little triangle pieces from those corners and just nudge them into these side areas to secure the block even further. And this doesn't have to look super pretty because we will be covering this with moss. Okay, so we have our secured block of floral foam in the container. And then we'll set this over here for a second. So this is about all we're gonna do with this for right now. So we're just gonna set this aside. So the next thing you wanna do is hunt outside for the main stem of your topiary. This is a piece of a dead arborvitae pine. I liked the texture of kind of the bark on it, and it was a fairly nice straight stem. But we do want this to have a little bit of a realistic look to it, so it isn't, you know, a perfectly straight, dowel straight stem, and that's okay. So just kind of hunt outside until you find a branch that you like that's about the size and width that you like. So the next thing you want to make sure you have is some greenery. You can do pretty much any greenery that you want that fits your home. Some greenery is a little more blue than others, like kind of eucalyptus coloring greenery. Some is very, very vibrant green. So whichever greenery works for your home, have some of that ready to make into your topiary top. So what I'm going to do is, I have a wire cutters here. I'm going to clip this into some sections here. So I think I want about half that height for this. So as you can see, I have these kind of little spriggy sections, and I'm just going to layer them on top of each other and continue to clip more to add. So I'm kind of keeping all the ends together and collected nice at the base here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is get my wire. And then I'm going to set this bundle kind of like that, and then insert the stick into the bundle. So we're going to use a couple different methods of attaching this to this main stem. The first is wire, because this will be a fast way of getting it to hold. I want to make sure that this is nice and tight around the branch and that it has all the little stems in it, and then I'm going to just twist it like that. And then just simply go around. Now don't worry about the wire that you see right now, because that will be hidden in a later step. So we have the beginning of our topiary tree. So next what I'm going to do is use some hot glue to secure this a little bit better So I'm just kind of squeezing some hot glue in between the stems. So this is, of course, a fairly important step because this is going to really secure these stems to the main stem and allow you to fluff this floral a little bit later. But for now, we're not too worried about what the floral is kind of doing. And hot glue dries pretty fast, but it does take a little while. So, you know, take your time. So I think that should be good for now. So I am just going to hold this like this for the next however many minutes and wait till that hot glue dries to hold this a little more firm. So after the glue hardens, you can start kind of separating these pieces a little bit and fluffing the floral out, because then this will give us an idea of where we may want to add some more. So I can see that I want some more in this top area, so what I'm going to do is just take a few sprigs and add some hot glue to them and simply poke them into that center area. And there's so much floral in here that these will attach nicely. So I'm just going to kind of go around and continue adding a few sprigs here and there. So to start covering up some of this wire area, I'm going to use some hot glue and some of the floral and just hot glue and wrap the floral around the main stem. Then I'm going to prune these off into even smaller sprigs and then just start kind of gluing some of those in here and there. And I'm just kind of spreading out some of this floral a little bit more, getting some of the top branches to flow downward just a little bit to kind of fill that area in some more. And if there's any little areas that you want covered up, you can just use the very, very tips of the sprigs and a tiny bit of hot glue to just dot spot place some of these little sprigs of floral. And so the next thing I'm going to do is poke this into the center of our planter. So next, I'm just going to add some moss over the floral foam. And there you have a very cute little decorative topiary.